Get ready. It's time for a well-deserved break, Pittsburgh, with Heather Abraham and David Highfield from the KDKA TV studios. It's Pittsburgh Today Live.
We're getting organized here because our producer Jill hates us, and we're going to be doing something in a little bit.
She does not hate us. She wants us to have fun. But she, like, very last minute was here as the theme song started, and then she whoosh right out of here.
No, we'll tell you more about that.
She left us with all this behind.
Hey, David joined me this morning for Your Day Pittsburgh, our morning newscast. And
What a morning.
What a morning. You know, we weren't sure what we were going to walk into.
Right.
With
and
the presidential
answer is,
election.
we still don't know who's going to be the next president.
No.
But lots of information.
Did not sleep last night.
I did not. So I fell asleep yesterday afternoon. I fell asleep as soon as I got home from work. And then I woke up around like 7:30. And then I started watching a little bit of election coverage. And I thought, I'll fall back asleep. I'll fall back asleep. I never fell back asleep.
No.
So right now, I don't know how many hours it's been that I've been awake. But I feel okay. I did drink some Diet Coke in the newsroom. I'm back to my Perrier
You rebel.
here. Yeah. Well, she keeps pushing. What do you push the
Red Bull?
Red Bull. I was going to call it X drink. That's not even a thing.
Red Bull and coffee. I'm ready.
Right. You're caffeinated. You know how to do it.
Well, and I said, come on, David. And he thought for a second, okay, maybe I'll try it. And then I read the back and it said not intended for children, nursing mothers, pregnant women, or those sensitive to caffeine.
And I really am sensitive to caffeine. Like, if someone gives me coffee, and I've had coffee, I've had iced coffee occasionally, but like, I can feel it. And I talk really fast, and I feel like I can feel my heart beating faster. I don't know if it's just psychological.
It's not just when you're around me. That's not.
It's always when I'm around you. But anyway, we passed on the caffeine.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a really wonderful story to share with you. I was delighted when someone messaged me and told me about this great story up in Oil City, and I was able to speak with Officer Job Orb, who just literally jumped in.
Well, he jumped into action.
Yes.
And and you wonder, like, you would hope that you'd be the same person that jumped into action too, but he didn't have a second thought.
No, he didn't. So here's what happened. He is in Oil Creek right now, looking in this video. This is from Monday around 12:30 in the afternoon. Someone was walking on a trail and noticed that there was a dog stuck on, we'll call it an island in Oil Creek. Called 911. Officer Orr arrived. And he saw the dog. He started down to the bank, which is about 3 to 4 feet down. As you can see, it's a little bit of a drop there. The dog started swimming towards him. He grabbed onto her or him and was able to finally eventually get him up to dry land.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And the dog's name is what? Is it Sparky? Which is such, look at Sparky.
Okay, so here's what I found out in talking with Officer Orr. We've been texting back and forth. We're practically best friends now.
I think you're best friends, yes.
So Officer Orr told me that this is a 15-year-old Beagle mix, going deaf, wandered away from home, somehow ended up on that little island in the creek.
And was probably scared to death.
But here's what I love is that Officer Orr says in his roles as police officers, he was the police chief in Knoxboro too, and now he's an officer in Oil City. And he said in his role as an officer, he is so dedicated to the community. He loves working with kids and he loves showing the positive side of what they do. And so he was happy to share this video with us in the story, but he went back to the owner's house to check in on the dog.
And Sparky's okay.
And Sparky's okay.
That's
but
fantastic.
He went that extra step to go back and check in.
Right. Officer Orr, we are proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing what you do every day, not just that day, but every day.
Really, it's a cool story.
Yeah, I love starting with that. All right. Well, with the pandemic and the year that we've been having, some people are down in the dumps. And it's not just people, it turns out, that are down in the dumps. So there's this aquarium in Finland where they have a really depressed fish. Here it is. His name is Mikko. And he lives at the Sea Life Helsinki's Sea Lab. And since the COVID-19 shutdown, he's upset. He's listless. He's a little pathetic or apathetic, maybe pathetic too. But anyway, he doesn't like that there are no visitors.
Okay.
So they have tried to make things better for him. So they put other fish in the tank to be like his buddies or his friends.
I love this. He keeps eating his friends.
eating every single one, right? One right after the other. So like the Daily Mail reported on this and they said staff were convinced that even Miko wouldn't be able to eat a lionfish. Quote, we were quite sure that that would be a good tank mate, but obviously he wasn't. He ate it, so it didn't go very well.
Wait,
so poor Miko is maybe just hungry.
So I told
more
Frankie,
hungry than lonely, right?
I told Frankie this, and he goes, "The fish is just hungry."
Right.
And aren't we all right now? Like, don't you find he's putting on the quarantine 15 too?
Well, he keeps eating all his friends.
Oh,
so
what a
anyhow,
sad story.
so they felt bad and they didn't know what to do at this point. So they threw him a birthday party.
I hope that they didn't invite anybody because
no. But listen to this: they gave him a salmon cake, which he reportedly devoured.
Of course.
Yes. So I don't know what the answer is with Miko, but he's 3 feet long and weighs 35 pounds, and apparently he's getting bigger.
By the day. Oh, that's a great story.
You know.
I love that. All right, well, from that to an unusual pet, at least I think so, but apparently more people are taking in snails as pets. This is
So this
is crazy.
Once again, I think we can blame social media for this, or exalt social media for this, because some people started doing this and then they would post on social media, and then it became a thing because maybe they're easier to care for than, say, a dog or a Miko or whatever. And so,
fish.
Anyhow, we want to show you some of the amazing videos. This is Aaliyah posts these on Instagram, and so these are snails bowling. But she has like one right after the other. These amazing videos. And so she has pet snails.
How much time does she have?
I don't know.
But she created a fake bowling alley.
Well, that is a good question, Heather. But it's the pandemic, so maybe she had a lot of time. But this is not all. Let's show you the next video, because I think it gets better. So here are her snails playing Wheel of Fortune. And look, even Vanna has been replaced by a snail.
I don't even have time to shower some days, let alone build fake Wheel of Fortune for pet snails.
Well, you would have more followers on Instagram if you had time to do this, Heather. But apparently, so both the New York Times and New York Magazine have written about this, and this has taken off, not like making snails play Wheel of Fortune, but snails as pets. Other people have posted about them as well, and there are advantages to having snails.
Oh, really?
And so there's.
Do tell, David.
Well, one of the advantages is, I'm told, is this an advantage? I don't know. It says, unlike a dog or cat, they don't tend to live very long, usually only 2 to 3 years. They're not hard to care for, and during the quarantine, they have apparently become popular. And so there's another woman on YouTube who has a snail named Shrek, and she gives advice about how to take care of them. So watch.
This is Shrek. Look, I'm just gonna put Shrek up to my face just so you can get a grasp of the scale of how big Shrek is. Look, oh my god, you're huge. I have an urge to lick.
Why does she have him on a piece of lettuce like she's going to eat her pet?
Well, and she went through that. She said it's easier to hold it on the lettuce or something. But anyhow, yeah, this is her giving some advice, and that's a really big snail. That was bigger than the ones that were playing Wheel of Fortune.
I don't know. I don't know if I like this or if I'm disgusted. I don't know. There's something slimy about
but you
him.
kept staring at it. I could tell. You kept looking at it. It was
Yeah.
like you couldn't look away.
You can't look away.
Because you don't really know. But anyway, we just report it. We don't make it up. We just let you know what's happening.
Fascinated by this.
All right, the next thing is maybe less fascinating and more.
We'll get back to what we were talking about at the top of the show. So
Yeah, so we set up this test because, and we have a picture of this too, but here's the actual thing. So, you know, we've been talking about candy corn.
people don't like candy corn.
That's not true. Some people do. I do.
Some people do. Some people do. It's kind of, I don't know. It's fine.
It's a divisive issue.
It is. In my unofficial poll on Twitter that 15 people took part in, everyone hates candy corn.
Right. Everyone rushed to weigh in on your Twitter poll.
All right, so here we go. So there was this new turkey dinner candy corn, and this kind of reminds me of the whole like badly flavored jelly beans. You know how you?
Well, there are some jelly beans that are not good.
No.
you know.
There are jelly beans that they have created like booger or they.
Oh, like gross.
Like
jelly
gross
beans.
jelly beans. These
Oh.
exist. So this is what this reminds me of, because I can't imagine what a sweet candy corn flavored. Okay.
So they've come out for Thanksgiving, because why not stretch the candy corn into Thanksgiving too? Flavors. So these are actually different flavors, because I'm convinced in the Halloween candy corn, all of them taste the same. These are different colors and different flavors, and so we're gonna close our eyes or blindfold ourselves, and we're gonna try to see if we can identify roasted turkey, cranberry sauce, ginger glazed carrot, sweet potato pie, stuffing, and green beans. By the way, these are sold out. Like, go try to find these, and you might find it on Amazon at this point. $25 a bag, that's what people are charging.
Stop.
Yes, it's true.
Are you allowed to do that? I thought that wasn't allowed to hike
It's
up
price
prices.
gouging, and
It
it's
is.
probably not allowed, but apparently it's happening.
All right, I'm going to close my eyes because I have 4 layers of makeup on that I'm afraid will come off if I try to put
Right before our eyes.
We've been on the air for so long. Okay.
Okay, wait, I have to.
I'll wait until you're ready. And Jill's going to give us the go.
Okay, and I need to, wait, I'm allowed to touch them. Okay.
I know
'Cause
you have a
last
problem
time-
hearing when you can't.
I know, when I have my blindfold on, I can't hear.
All right. Okay, so
Okay,
first one.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking for it.
It doesn't really taste like any of it tastes like candy corn.
What are the
What
what are the different flavors that it could be?
Is it candied carrots? No. It's a vegetable, Jill says.
Is it the sweet potatoes? Okay.
Is it a green bean?
Oh,
Okay.
first one hard.
I have to pick up
The first one was
just
hard.
to pull this around.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I'm not ready yet.
Okay. I'm not ready yet either. Now I'm ready.
All right. Okay, here we go. All right, number 2.
Can't find the bell. Are you putting it in?
Whoa.
I don't know. Here.
Is it the stuffing? Oh,
Is it the turkey? Ah, okay.
oh, Jill.
I think I
You know
found
what?
3.
It gives me comfort to know that Jill tried all of these beforehand.
Now that that leaves an aftertaste.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's the bell?
Is it the cranberry? It's
Oh,
sweet. It's
really?
sweet. I can tolerate
Yeah, that one
it.
was a little bit better. Where's the? I should just
Okay.
peek again to
Yeah.
see where the number
Number 4.
Pull number
Okay.
4 aside. Okay, put my blindfold down. Paper.
Okay.
Can you handle more? Should
I
we
don't know.
stop this now? Heather?
No, no,
Is
no,
this
go.
gonna like result in something bad?
Oh. Is it the carrots?
Oh.
I did not like my vegetables as a kid. Okay, 2 more.
Those carrots
All
are really sweet.
right. They are really sweet.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Turkey.
you already guessed turkey.
Oh, do we have a turkey?
That's me.
No.
Is it the stuffing? Oh, second guess.
Mashed
Gravy.
Mashed
there's no-
potatoes.
Oh, it's dessert.
Oh, is it pumpkin pie? Oh.
Oh, sweet potato pie, she says.
Okay.
We were wrong.
All right. By
Last
process of elimination, I think I kind of know what this next one could be. but-
Okay.
Okay. Maybe, take a deep breath. Is this the turkey? Did we do turkey?
It's the stuffing.
Oh, it's the stuffing. I couldn't remember what we did and what we didn't do. All right, well,
That'll wake you up in the morning. $25 a bag for that?
that's what we were told by someone who was looking for these. Yeah. Ooh, we're gonna need a drink.
That green bean, why?
Well, you know what? The cranberry and the sweet potato pie were not bad.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not going to rush at them, but the regular ones, I do stand by those.
I do.
These are a little more interesting. Let's
I do
just
need
say
like
that.
a Cosmo or something right now. Chase those
Can we
down
arrange
with.
that?
Can we go
That would be fantastic.
right now?
Is there anyone manning the bar?
Can we have that happen? All right, we should wrap this up now.
All right, yeah, I think Jill said we're
Oh.
out of time, right? It is time for a break because we have a lot to get to this hour, a lot more fun, and it's going to be a whole lot tastier than what we just went through. We are live with Selena Pompiani for a new edition of Selena Around Town. Up next, she's giving a first look at the bargains you'll find at a big designer sale. And the best part is the money raised goes to charity, so you feel good about buying that new bag or new coat. And look at her, she's piling on stuff.
Go,
She's out of
Selena,
control.
go. We're also cooking with Rania. It's her countdown to Turkey Day, and she is not using candy corn. It's a month-long series to help us get ready for Thanksgiving, and I love this today. We are starting with dessert.
That's a great way to start. Plus, a house divided over the presidential election. Stay with us for pro advice on how to come together again once the final vote is counted.
That and more ahead on this Wednesday, November 4th, 2020. You're watching PTL, and we are glad you're with us.